Maybe that's just a little puffery there. We got to find out. So let's go ahead and draw 5 and see what's going on.
Looks like Jason might have a copy of Theo Realize in his hand. I'm curious to see how that is utilized.
Oh, it's so good in this deck. So I'll wait till he activates it, but let me tell you, it is the Fiendsmith combo by itself.
Oh, okay.
And normal summon Naroi.
But it does look like Urkham is the one that will be opening up, and he has Naroi, which is a fantastic normal summon.
Unless
met by a copy of Infinite Impermanence.
Yep, that's good.
And Infinite Permanent's so huge right now because with a decent amount of K9s out there, you do want to try to stop interactions with spell or trap cards from the hand, not so much monster effects because you don't want to blow your opponent's strategy, well, not necessarily wide open. They're going to blow you wide open because you've enabled them.
Yeah, this is, again, though, that one-for-one trade style deck, the Elfnote strategy. So we see the Pot of Prosperity. I actually already see that Jason put a copy of Ash Blossom Joy Spring to the top of his hand. And from there, I think Urkham just has some own hand interactions himself, so this might really line up well. Jason, one-for-one trades, one-for-one trades. And then you said the Realize is the Fiendsmith combo itself.
So good. It's so good. I don't want to spoil the surprise till it happens, but effectively, let's talk about what the card does since it's likely to be activated earlier. It allows you to send Medius the Pure from your deck to the graveyard and then look at the top card of your opponent's deck and either place it on the top or the bottom. But you can also banish it from your graveyard in order to target a monster you control and then change its type and attribute.
What does Noroi
And you're not going to be Divine Reptile, you're not going to be Fire Pyro, you're going to be Light Fiend.
You're right, you're right. Does it trigger itself for cost?
Yes. But that also will put Medius the Pure in your graveyard, so you can return a monster card from your hand back to the deck in order to special summon it out. So let's see what he does here. I feel like Theo Realize has to be the first card he plays. Because it trips the wires, it tests the electric fences. But he might be going for something different.
It does look like he used Naroi to peek at the hand.
Okay.
That way he can use the Mulcharmy in his hand.
Oh, that's smart, actually, to clear your own field and then be able to chain a Mulcharmy. Now might not be a bad time, as we see Fiendsmith's Engraver.
Of course.
Discarded.
Hand, right? That's correct.
So that'd be interesting, too, because if you don't need the Theo Realize in order to get the Fiendsmith combo, and you are getting Fiendsmith Tractor, I wonder if he's got any other ways to get maximum value out of the card's ability to change type and attribute.
I should point out, it's very kind of that unusual circumstance where you just have Naroi as the only thing on your field. So it's really heads-up play, like you mentioned, though, to set it up so that he can actually still activate this Fualos. I think some players might have been pretty demoralized to think, wow, my Pot of Prosperity was negated by Ash, my Naroi was negated by Infinite Impermanence, and I have 2 hand interactions in my field, plus a Fualos, which ... is dead, but not really if you actually are fully aware of all of your K9 plays.
No, good looking out from Urkham there, and the great news is, considering that it is K9 Vanquish Soul, you draw a couple of cards. No, you're in a good spot, actually. You might win this duel.
Especially because he actually does have hand interactions to back this up, so he now actually wants to see some engine.
Well, let's see some engine now. It's Theo Realize time.
All right, so explain how Theo Realize works. Let's see. It looks like Urkham needs to take a quick peek at it.
Little theory crafting there, right? There's also Theo Realize Overdrive, which works kind of similar, but allows you to banish it to change levels. That's more in combination with the Doom side of it, and I can't wait to meet the Galaxy Brain duelist that plays Archmage, Fiendsmith, or excuse me, Archmage, Elfnote, Dooms, and all of the storyline deck, almost like if you played Monadium with the Scare Claws and everything else. But it hasn't happened yet, at least on the feature match stage, so...
Yeah, there's a period you could basically play Kashtira, Manadium.
Just gonna read this.
I don't know how many tier elements are in that strategy, but it was close enough.
I mean, V's the Starfrost. He's an honorary member of every family.
Yeah, true.
But we are going to send Medius the Pure to the graveyard here. And Medius really, really good in a lot of different strategies, but what he's really doing here is he's an alternative way into the Fiendsmith combo because you'll summon him and possibly we end up with the Power Patron
of keep it at the top of your deck.
The tuning here is going to be Power Patron of the Elfnotes. Let's see, we're just kind of slowly putting this together. Oh, interesting. He might actually discard his own Mulcharmy for Wallets. No, summoning to the main monster zone. It's Elfnote time.
This is Trinia?
I believe so.
Tinia, rather. I think this one searches the spell, the continuous spell, and places it on the field?
It does. So my memory is blue spells, red monsters, yellow traps. Although that doesn't really match up color-wise. It's just easy to remember. So yeah, of course, you special summon it from your hand to your main monster zone. So we're going this direction first, not using the Theo Realize just yet. And you don't really need to.
And then it looks like he's going to place a copy of Elfnote's Welcome Home.
It's got two effects. One will allow you to protect the card in your center main monster zone from card effects, from being targeted with card effects, if I recall correctly. And then also you can discard a monster and then I think grab an Elfnote with a different original attribute.
Yeah, so it's actually send from hand or field, so it is possible to use on the field. And then it special summons it from the deck, of course.
Oh, that's huge, too. Okay, so that actually means you can clear your own main monster zone. And pardon, first day on the job here, we don't get to see this level of high-level Elfnote gameplay every day. It's only been legal for a week now.
Yeah, it does lock you into synchro monsters, though, so it is important to note that if you were planning on utilizing the Fiendsmith cards, it is for the rest of the turn, so you do need to utilize your Fiendsmith first, and then, of course, go into your extra deck.
Oh, but he doesn't want to do anything further because the Molcharmi Fualos.
And he actually knew that there was a Fualos on top of Arkham's deck from the effect of
Theo Realize. Yeah. That's kind of neat because it almost gives you more information than the K9 Naroi. I know he's not going to have a great turn. I know I can stop whatever he has. I'm just going to leave it here, keep his resources limited. He didn't do anything other than the K9 Naroi. And now I've just got a bigger monster, and he doesn't really have much except access to Rock of the Vanquisher.
He did draw that Raisin, I believe. Or maybe he had it in his hand prior, and Naroi was his opening normal summon, but it was, regardless, met by effect failures. So we're seeing that just one-for-one trading that I commented on has really been popular in a lot of the low-to-the-ground Fiendsmith, kind of these mid-range strategies.
Definitely a real treat for me. A lot of people on Elfnote, but I just haven't had a chance to play against it. So again, this is a great showcase of what this deck can do. And this is a very, like, limited game state, but honestly, being protected from card effects, having a decent-sized body, and the follow-up for next turn, it's honestly not bad.
Curious if he's going to attack the Rock of the Vanquisher into the Tinia to take 2,400 points of damage in order to open up the Molcharmi in his hand again.
He is hard committed to getting a Molcharmi effect to resolve, and I think at this point, Jason, considering he will get a battle phase next turn, is going to have to just try to push. Let's take a look at the graveyard.
Yep, main phase.
Are we going to get rid of that Theo Realize?
Activate Fiendsmith Tract.
Oh, we're going to use Fiendsmith Tract here. Or are we, considering there's an Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring in Urkham's hand? Choice is yours, Urkham.
So Urkham's in this weird spot where he wants his opponent to special summon to make the Molcharmi not only live, but actually meaningful, but he doesn't have enough life points to survive a battle phase.
Well, we will see.
Two in hand.
How he survives. The Ash Blossom.
I think you might have a copy of Call By.
Oh,
he sure does.
He's thinking about it. Didn't commit it quite to the field. Showed it to us in the audience.
I will call by.
Yeah, we're going to call by the grave that, and there is not much that could be done there. So let's access the deck here. And still just getting.
I will search Engraver.
Fiendsmith Engraver there for the discard.
And I will discard Engraver. Okay.
He does play Lurie, so that is
we can go next game.
A peculiar selection. I will trust him. But I thought he had another copy of Engraver in Graveyard already. Maybe
but that was enough just to get. All right, now we're going to draw our cards.
I see double Molcharmi Nibiru.
Oh, in Jason's hand. Must be nice, some duelist says somewhere.
It's a nice looking hand though from Urkham. I see reinforcements of the army, Call by the Grave.
Standby phase?
The Call by the Grave is going to be huge. But we'll start with the Molcharmi Purulia. That feels pretty good with the Call by the Grave. You're going to summon so many monsters from your hand.
Ooh, a Dimension Shifter too. Wow, these are just two very loaded hands.
Yeah.
So I think you probably go Shifter, Chain, Call by.
I love Urkham having the conversation in his head with this Inuyama Yugi just pointing to the board. If I do this, then I do that. Then I call by the grave and I target his Molcharmi Purulia.
That is okay.
So we're going to banish that.
Chain Dimensional Shifter.
Oh, and chain the Dimension Shifter before the call by the grave resolves.
Yes.
It's one of those things you got to ask your opponent before you resolve the card effects. They may have another thing to do. So definitely have the Dimension Shifter. Now we got the reinforcements of the army hitting the board in the main phase. Grabbing Razen, one can only imagine.
Talk about 3 power 1-ups.
Dude, and I definitely saw Dimensional Fissure in the main deck there. This is banishment and banishment services.
Thinking here.
So he deduced, I think it's not that surprising knowing that the Fiendsmith cards were there, that it makes sense to have those that package in the Fissure Shifter package.
get rid of the graveyard, and it is not a problem. So Urkum considers his next card here.
I have 4 in hand. Okay.
Confirming known cards in hand and hand count. Is he going to share any of that information with the rest of the class? Let's see some cards played. It's Canine the Roy here for the normal summon to special summon a Canine from the deck.
I will try to activate Fuwalos.
Here's Fuwalos.
That's good.
It's not going to be, for 2 reasons, another Call by the Grave. 1, it's limited, and 2, the Fuwalos actually just got inherently banished.
Yeah. So. You can't banish me if you already did. But let's see what we're going to special summon on the Canine side, and if this is actually going to slow Urkum down, because you know that your opponent is going into their next turn as a graveyard-based deck without a graveyard. But it looks like we're going to draw off the Canine Lantern here, and I don't see anything too threatening from Jason's hand.
Now I'll go search a copy of Case of Canine. I am really curious to see how much further he's going to go. Obviously, he's going to play a Case for Canine. Does he think he can potentially win just with Canines and not the extra deck? It's really something I'm curious about. Does he think Shifter buys him the turn and he shouldn't play into Fuwalos further? Okay, so the Ripper is not free necessarily, but at least replaces itself, so it's kind of a 1-for-1 trade. You draw a card, I search a card. I also pick up an additional hand interaction, so I can totally see this be a viable play here, especially because he knows how many hand interactions Jason has in his deck. I would, though, be surprised if we see too much from this point going forward.
Well, there's an alternative version of the case for Canine, that because you know your opponent doesn't have access to their graveyard, and you've seen them on things like Effect Veiler, you just push and push and push, and you don't care how many cards they have in their hand, and then when it comes back to your turn, and yes, they have access to the graveyard, it doesn't matter at this point. You have a fully established field. But let's see what he does.
But I think just setting the quick play rather, plus getting the additional search for follow-up. Right now he has Forced Release set. He has the follow-up. He knows he has a turn in which Shifter's active. I think he's probably going to pass here.
Well, I think you're right, because he's also down a game, so it's not like he has a game to just kind of experiment. So he does pass the turn. Yep. Let's go ahead and see Jason draw. Looks like a spell card, and I think it's Elfnote Welcome Home.
That is 23. Currently, yep.
But this is not a warm welcome. If you come back to Elfnote Town, we've abolished graveyards, at least for this turn.
It does look like reading Elfnote's Welcome Home. It says you can send 1 monster from your hand or field to the graveyard as a cost.
That's not going to help you here.
That's not going to help.
Activate Elfnote.
That's Welcome Home. I think we're about to hear some rulings here.
This is 23 attack points, correct? Currently, yeah.
Because you're not able to send, and if you're not able to send for cost, then you're not able, period. But there's Latera, by the way, as I was pointing out. You can see her in the center of the artwork there with all the other Elfnotes.
You're good. Special summon Lucina.
Oh, but we do get a monster in the main monster zone. It can't be targeted by card effects. So we are going to see Lucina.
Lucina is the one that adds an Elfnote monster. It also has 2,500 attack, which is nothing to laugh at either. These kind of remind me a little bit of Kashtira. Just big monsters.
Yeah, it is kind of Kashtira too, because it's a very small package of monsters. If you actually look at the entire Elfnote list of cards, it is 4 monsters that go in the main deck. It is 2 monsters that go in the extra deck. It's 2 continuous spells and 2 trap cards. That somehow makes an entire strategy by itself. And that is very much like Kashtira, right? Because when we got Kashtira, we just had like Unicorn, Ogre. We didn't even get Riseheart until the set after Photon Shockwave.
You're missing the best one, Fenrir.
Yeah, Fenrir. I know. I was kind of dancing around that. He's still around. He's an honorary. But it looks like we're going to go ahead and use Canine X Force Release.
So probably put Werewolf on the field. Oh, no, he's going actually for Jack.
Okay.
May I read Jack's? Go ahead, yep. I will declare his effects.
And that is going to be able to destroy the Elfnote Welcome Home with the Force Release, because it does get the additional destruction.
Target Lucina. To pop it? To pop it, yeah. Yes.
Yeah, so he's able to clear it out.
You're good to continue.
Kind of in sequence there.
That may be it. Taking a moment to read another copy of a card here.
I think it's the second copy of Lucina to see if he's able to do anything with the second copy.
And you can only special summon Elfnote Lucina once per turn this wave, reading right off the card text there, so she is no help. So we'll get Fabled Lurie, normal summon on the field. You know what that's for. This is almost the world's most expensive Fiendsmith combo, considering that none of those great cards are going to go to the graveyard.
Yes.
Yeah, especially because it looks like he has a copy of Nibiru which Urkum
think
played
like
around
straight
well,
up
and then a
or-
copy of Effect Veiler, which obviously was turned off by the Dimension
that's
Shifter.
My bad, sorry.
You okay? Go ahead.
You know, earlier, as I mentioned, Urkum having the
to-
choice to go forward or
to-
not, it does make sense that he held off, considering, you know, the Nibiru, the Primal Being, could be drawn by those extra cards. It looks like he's going to pass, so I guess it makes sense you're going to use the
activate a card?
quick
I did.
effect
Drew.
of
Okay, yeah, that's
your
turn?
Fiendsmith's Requiem in order to special summon, you know, could be a range of Light Fiend monsters.
Stand by main phase?
But you also have the Nibiru, the Primal Being in your hands, so maybe you feel safe,
how many
maybe you're
now?
able to get through this after all, especially
Three.
considering
Three.
K9. Ripper is off the field.
Let's go,
Yeah, he was insulated from
normal
Nibiru on the
rosin
first turn
effects
because of
to
the Ripper,
search.
but here, theoretically, right, that Nibiru that was played around in the first turn, it will be important for Urkum to be wary of that again here, because certainly if you play around it one turn, doesn't necessarily mean it's suddenly gone out of the hand. So he needs to also be cognizant that if he makes it up to that fifth summon, that he's able to insulate himself with Ripper again.
Yeah, Ripper's popular, but not running two in the extra deck.
Yeah.
In like your main
Resolution
list
data, sorry,
popular.
hand rest?
Yeah, I just peeked at
I
that
will
myself,
try and
actually. There's only one
use
Ripper,
in here.
so it'll be interesting to see how he navigates without another copy of that in his extra deck.
Well, duels have done stranger things before,
rosin
but looks like we're going to go ahead and
to
activate the effect
pop.
of the Vanquish Soul Razem,
I'll
revealing
reveal
Zhao Long,
Zhao Jokul.
as well
I'll try to
as Joe
activate
Cool.
Requiem.
So, man, this is going to be a
That's
pretty
fine.
devastating turn. You just have
Yeah,
to hope that
Redux
the
in the
Nibiru
meantime.
Primal
Yeah,
Being
you're
can
good.
get it done.
He's just quickly reading Jax.
You don't see it like all the time. It's a very commonly played card amongst the K9 strategy, but it's just not always there. But it looks like we are picking up cards here. But actually, it's just a special
Requiem
summon.
effect.
Okay, so we are attributing the Fiendsmith's Requiem
That's fine.
and special summoning Fiendsmith. Well, it's gonna be Lacrima of the Crimson Tears. Always sure is a Fiendsmith card. And then I'll send a Graver to the graveyard, hopefully
for
for a
Yoka.
follow-up turn if you're cheering for Jason.
Yeah, you're good. I'll go ahead and use Jokul.
Meticulous play continues. Let's reveal for
Zhao
Joe Cool. The 5
That is
is
a
Zhao Long.
Anything on open game stay here?
You're actually good.
I'll go Jokul effects.
Yeah.
So Jason's still holding in there. As Urkum, you almost imagine, why is he still here, right? And he sent
Lantern?
Fiendsmith and Graver to the graveyard. That almost does telegraph the Nibiru, the Primal Being, because your opponent hasn't disappeared on you yet.
Yeah. I mean, again, he played around it in the first turn, so he didn't necessarily check off that it's not there. He presented a scenario in which would make it so that it simply would never
Cards in
hit
hand?
the field. He might be potentially considering going to battle phase here.
Thinking
I
here,
mean,
of
those are some
course.
big monsters. Not quite big enough to close out the game, considering we still have 8,000 life points.
Sorry, I'm sick.
But he
Nah.
does seem a little worried about going any further than this. Maybe this is an argument for a second Ripper, actually.
That. Use Jokul.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to play the Nash Knight combo, that just takes up the 4 cards itself. So the extra deck, you have space, because, I mean, you're literally playing Pot of Prosperity, so you can
Some rock.
afford some space, but maybe not such that you can incorporate 2 copies of Ripper.
Yeah, and it's one of those things, too, where, you know, you don't have to do all the damage via battle damage in K9 Vanquish Soul, because you just still have access to Heavy Borger. 1,500 points at a time, you can get that done that way, but it looks like we are going to Xyz summon here. And who are we getting out of this big stack as we build the overlay network? Urkum takes a look at his hands,
So
considers his
good.
Xyz monster choices carefully.
26.
I think he almost skipped a step there as he grabbed the CXCs. Gotta be something. It is a tough decision. That is what Urkum is telling us. This is hard.
That's 30, 56. You have 3 in hand, sorry?
Up, down, all around.
56.
And survey says we are just going into the Nash Knight.
It's one of those things, too, where when you're playing against a strategy that
Yeah,
has
Nash
such a
Knight
high
cards.
density of hand
Pass.
interactions,
Yeah.
it increases the likelihood that Nibiru is incorporated in that deck list. Some of the decks this weekend that are only having, let's say, 9 slots for hand interactions, you go 3-Mil Charmy, 3-Mil Charmy, maybe from there Ghost Bell, so you just never get to the point where Nibiru is even on the table.
Well, you know, touch on something we talked about earlier. You know what another deck was that barely had any monsters and was able to play a bunch of hand interactions? Kashtira. It's the same concept. You get that really good core engine in Elfnotes, but you have all this space for everything else.
May I read Nash Knight?
But we're going
That's
in.
the one.
Yeah, go ahead.
As we make Nash Knight, and then go ahead and stack up onto the CXC's Nash Knight.
I mean, you were just saying, Fiendsmith has been incorporated with both Elfnote here, but also Kashtira in essentially the same style of deck.
Yeah, you're right. It is kind of that same style of play.
Yeah, of
Use the
course.
Fiendsmith to see what's going on, and then use your big bodies to show up later. I have to say I'm voting for Elfnote in terms of very powerful spell and trap cards. You know, Kashtira Birth does kind of rhyme with Elfnote's Welcome
Summon
Home.
of Nash
Has
is
a little bit of a protection effect or
Trying
some
to use
counterplay,
effect.
and also has the special summon there. But there's the Nibiru, the
Oh,
Primal
Chain
Being,
Rock
and we're going to go ahead and
to
Chain
add
Rock
back.
of the Vanquisher to try to bring back
Cards
a
in hand?
Vanquish Soul monster out of the graveyard.
Then he also
Do I
has the
know
Holly
anything
Sue in
this
his
turn
hand,
besides
so
Holly Sue?
I believe that's
Probably
us.
Sue.
Winning
I
out
know.
just here, that would at least put a
No,
game
turn.
back on the board.
I
25
think
minutes
it's
left on the
right. I think
clock.
it's
We
first
might be able to
turn.
close out a game 3 as well.
Uh,
Have had a couple of double losses. You know, it never is good.
I
Talking. Oh, go ahead.
I wonder if he's going to use
I'll
the
chain
effect
Baylor
veiler as
to
well
rock up
to
the
stop the
Vanquisher.
rock.
I think that's worth it. I think that's certainly worth stopping any follow-up play, especially because you know that Holly Sue could be around.
Yes, you agree?
Of course.
You don't want to give him any additional attributes to reveal.
And you've used Requiem effect this turn.
I did.
Funny question.
Huh.
What zone is Jason not going to put Nibiru in?
That's
Ooh, that's interesting. Yeah.
He's not going to put it in his center column,
You
which is
can't-
funny
yeah.
because I feel like
Failure.
instinctually a lot of people just put it
Do you
there.
guys happen to
'Cause
have
it
Yeah,
feels
they
so-
it just feels like the rock comes down, but no, he's putting it in the far right
Yep.
there. There's a Fiendsmith player at heart.
I have.
No, he's an Elfnote player at heart.
Well,
That's
yes,
correct. I'll
yes.
choose. Would you mind telling me the stats of your token?
I was thinking Moon of the Closed Heaven, right? The only
would
safe
be-
monster
Oh,
zone is
I
the
see.
far
It's
right.
not
Yeah,
right.
but you're right. The lesson is
Yes,
learned
sir.
either
It'd
way.
be
Stay out of the
these two,
center.
So it would be
Yeah, when you're playing
46,
Elfnote, leave it
55.
open. When you're playing against
I'll do
Elfnote,
55
Nibiru token
defense.
that
Yeah.
you get to select the location of goes in your opponent's middle
Yeah.
column.
Get out of my lane. But remember, you actually can't swap too. That's the other thing that the
Sure.
Elfnote strategy has. The monsters have quick effects to swap them into the main monster zone in order to get their powerful effects. But
go ahead
the main
and
monster
do-
zone needs to be empty for them to special summon themselves out. So that is kind of a tricky question too, because you need a monster in the main monster zone to
Lantern
switch with.
effects.
I definitely think
Sorry,
you leave it
it's-
open because they themselves
So I've already
allow you
used
to
Joker's
search
turn, right?
cards that manipulate their zone. But if you can't put them on the field in the first place, you're playing behind.
So I wonder if we're going to see like a cool
Yes.
S-Force deck using the card that you discard from the hand in
Open
order
game
to
state.
move one of the
Sure.
monsters to a
Going
different
to
zone.
activate Lacrima
And you're like,
to
get to
shuffle
the center
herself,
main
targeting,
monster zone to lock out
Fiendsmith
this Elfnote
Requiem.
player.
Can I read?
Of course.
So it looks like Jason just pointed at the Lacrima, so he's going to be putting Lacrima back
You're
on
targeting Requiem.
into
That's
his
right.
deck, and then
would
summoning
you
the
use on
Requiem
that?
from the graveyard. Ooh, never mind.
Yes, that's fine.
That single copy of
So I will still
Magnamut.
shuffle back. 'cause
I
Still
believe
good, still good. And in
it tries to
K9
resolve
Vanquish
as
Soul,
much
obviously
as
it's a dark to
possible.
reveal, and
course.
it searches
Requiem.
Caesar Velius.
Requiem or
It
Lacrima?
would be Lacrima, yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's all one effect, so I think.
Interesting match here, but we're going to need to close this duel out
3-1 was
relatively
nice,
soon
too
to have
good.
enough time
Huh?
to finish
3-1
up
of
the next
today.
one, especially if it's going
Call
at this
by
pace
Shifter
of
Mag.
play. Nobody's just sitting on their hands here,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
there's so
Pretty good
much
game
for
one.
both
Yeah, we had
decks
a
to
good
do,
game one. We had a
especially
good
on
game one.
Urkham's side.
I also called by you like last in the
Yeah,
game.
yeah.
Yeah, it's only fair. Requiem, that's right.
It's funny, we wanted it to be an Elfnote showcase, and Jason's doing a great job, but it's not merely by synchro summoning and synchro summoning and synchro summoning.
That's just hand interaction.
It's playing good. It almost kind of reminds me of, Cool Tune is another great deck that, because it always is looking for tuners, has so much room
Yeah,
for points
I
of
believe it
interaction
should.
from the
Lacrima
hand.
still should
That
shuffle
sometimes
herself
you do
back.
just get hands where you're like, well, I'll just stop them until I draw a Cool Tune.
They're just clarifying something here on the timing of the Magnamut.
It does not.
I think it's all one effect.
Yes.
Because the Magma effect can only be activated when
No,
your opponent controls
Lacrima
a
tries to
monster,
shuffle
so
herself back.
if
It's
the
not
way he
somehow
did it
that's
was
the
he
thing,
chained to the Nibiru
Yes,
the Primal
but
Being,
it would
that's
still
one
try and
thing.
resolve as
But
much
if he
as
did it
possible.
after
Yeah,
the
no
Nibiru
arguments.
Primal Being resolved, then of course there is Nibiru on the field.
Which would be fine.
Yeah, that works exactly as intended.
Chainlink 1 Lacrima targeting Requiem. Chainlink 2 Mag targeting Requiem. So Lacrima will try and resolve as much as possible, shuffling herself back, but it won't summon because it's obviously changed positions.
Or maybe they're discussing, was he Magnamutting on Lacrima or Requiem?
Lacrima.
Oh, that's also interesting too. If you just say Bestial Magnamode on Fiendsmith, right? Communication is
The
very
Requiem.
important. And you know, sometimes duelists, they just want to take shortcuts, they
Lacrima-
just want to point at cards. And we talked about it earlier, how early duelist knowledge is. You know, it's so primordially in your brain. You see the picture of that smiling face on Pot of Greed and you know that that's what it means to draw 2 cards. But don't worry about the clock moving. It is being paused just for a quick ruling question, so we'll get the answer on this fast. And of course, our beautiful staff will be able to take care of that and let us know what's going on once they know. But you can't just say Bestial Magnamode Fiendsmith if that is what occurred, because there's many cards that meet that requirement, or meet that name.
I think they're trying to determine, is there a cost associated with Lacrima? Is the Requiem...
Oh, like, does it still get
does
shuffled
the Lacrima
off? Yeah.
still get shuffled in? I think that's what they're trying to determine. Does the Lacrima still get shuffled into the deck? Because it is a singleton copy.
I find myself doing that in a lot of my Fiendsmith builds too, like Lacrima, the Crimson Tears, great card. But I'm kind of organically only using one.
And it looks like Magnamote's on the field. It
played
looks
this at
like
Pasadena.
Requiem is in the graveyard, and it looks like Lacrima
Anaheim?
is in the deck.
Sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
Probably strange, but we got there somehow. So it looks like Lacrima, the Crimson Tears target, was
9
banished, but
effect
the
search.
monster is still returned to the deck. So Banish the monster was trying to special summon, but she's still gone.
Ah, so maybe
Oh, Zoom
it was
effect
trying
is
to
special?
summon the Engraver? That's,
Zoom
or
effect?
it's hard to gauge.
Or maybe
but-
the Lurie, actually.
No, the Lurie.
Yeah, okay, if it was a snake, it would have bit us. Staring us right in front of us. But speaking of graveyards, let's send another monster to the graveyard. It's going to be Canine
29.
Lupus.
Am I losing attack because of K's?
These are getting
And
9.
this is all after the
Canines are getting
Nibiru,
9.
my bad.
Let me just do math real quick, sorry.
Yeah, I think that we're going to go to a third game here. Little bit of seconds put back on the clock there, so we still got 21:54 and counting down.
84.
There's a chance you'll have your wish, which is to actually see the Elfnote cards do
go with
Elfnote things.
Well, I don't think I'm alone in that. I think a lot of
30,
duelists at home would probably want to see it. But
31.
here we are in the battle
31.
phase.
I will take
Do
100.
some big numbers here.
I will
The
attack
Roy gets
Atlantic
over
for
Nibiru, the
29.
Primal Being, likely due to some attack manipulation there of some kind.
That's
Lantern,
3,000 in total.
Magnamut,
Attack with Mag with 25.
and from that 25, he's just like, no, this one's attacking.
Requiem. Oh, I'm sorry. I am so sorry.
No worries, no worries.
There we go. Okay, so now
And then
that makes
Azuna
so
with
much sense. It
3,000.
wasn't the Fabled
Yeah, let's
Lurie.
go.
Let's clarify for everybody at home. The Fiendsmith Requiem was the one to be banned. Game 3, 16 minutes on the board. We got plenty of time. Let's make this a good one.
Fiendsmith do a great job insulating
Let's
you
move
by
into
going
the
into
draw
High
phase.
Caesar, High King Caesar, but then also providing
Draw
you
phase is good.
plenty of
Samba
follow-up.
face.
Oh, man, speaking of some interesting cards in
Charming
hand,
Purulia.
let's start with Purulia. How do we feel about that? We use the Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring or hold it for maybe a Molcharmi Fuwalos.
Arkham's probably like, I've seen a couple of these Elf Notes. I don't know what they're going to do in totality, but Purulia,
try
you
to
probably
actually.
are going to summon at least one time from hand.
Oh, it's
Rest are
Ash
open game
Blossom,
state?
but there's another
Zoom.
Purulia coming down.
Uh,
I mean, at least you've
that
slowed
is
down
okay
the
with me.
bleeding just a little bit, but you're right. Every one of
Let's
those Elf Notes
do
special summon to the
Samba
main
face,
monster
main
zone
face.
is going to be painful. Are we going to burn what appears to be Called by the Grave?
It actually looks like a
Okay,
tract.
Fiendsmith.
Oh, it is a Fiendsmith tract. Okay. Shades of green, but looks like no. We're just going to have to start trying to summon from the hand. Although this is going to summon from the graveyard if it is just Fabled Lurie. Let's see what he grabs. Last time he did not grab. What do you want? Didn't find it in the top half of the deck, but there's the Fabled Lurie.
Arkham is just sitting on double Ash Nibiru, so he really, really wants that Purulia to
I
draw
will.
Yes,
a little
he
bit
does.
action.
Try to
The
activate
problem
Lurie.
here
Anything on the
is
summon of Lurie.
this
You're good.
Lurie can single-handedly threaten an actual field without summoning from hand.
At all. So we're going to go into Fiendsmith's Requiem.
And this will probably
Ash
get
Blossom.
met with Ash Blossom. Now, if
Two in
Jason
hand.
has a
Yeah.
starter, he's pretty pressured into playing it and allowing at least one Purulia draw.
I think.
I know I saw a Droll and Lockbird, but I don't know that I saw anything that...
You know, actually, I see a solemn warning. There's a universe you set the warning to first play. Arkham's not going to have a lot of cards in hand. And if you have a starter, you play it on the turn that
Irresolve.
follows.
Thinking
Because
of
right now the
resolution
Purulia
of
hasn't
dreams.
actually
Yeah, no
replaced itself. So you might be willing to play super simplified.
Total denial of any cards to your opponent's hand.
That's what he's thinking about. Does he give him the one Purulia draw?
You know, the Droll and Lockbird will be pretty effective against both K9 and Vanquish Soul. There are plenty of searches in both sides of that deck.
Exactly.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
One other
Oh,
caveat
the pass.
is if he did summon a monster and it got interrupted, he would drop below the 2 cards in hand threshold as well. So there is some possibility there that, because he has 2 cards in hand, if Urkham is able to draw a K9, he could take advantage. Let's see what he drew.
I see Nibiru. I see Ash Blossom Joy Spring. Oh, is that a double pass? It is a double pass.
Standby phase.
I mean, but let's say Ash Blossom and Nibiru is no slouching hand. So we're going to start with Lucina.
Try to activate
Special summon. Going to try to search. They'll be met with Ash Blossom Joy Spring. No extra monster for you.
On resolution.
He just drew a Jiaolong. Has to be one of the worst draws in his deck.
Yeah. Maybe you get lucky, you Nibiru your opponent, you tribute summon Jiaolong, and then you rock the Vanquisher. And you just, but it's Medius the Pure. Great normal summon. Let's go ahead and either add to the hand or special summon a Power Patron monster. And that is going to be the Elfnote Power Patron, a level 1
Anything on rest or
like all the Power Patrons, they allow you to, upon their use within their specific extra deck mechanic, search a card within their archetype. And it is an Elfnote card, so it doesn't necessarily have to be a monster. He would be able to search Elfnote's Welcome Home, or perhaps some of the Elfnote trap cards that we've yet to see in this match.
So we've got 2 directions he can go. You can get Seraphim, a level 7, or you can go into Armades, a level 5. He may be wanting to set up here, but he's already got 3 summons on the board, so you don't really have a clean way into Nibiru the Primal Being here.
Let's try to activate Power Patron effect to modulate the levels.
Our Power Patron.
Would you like to read it?
Does it target?
It does not.
So he's
it's actually only the
level by
monster in your okay, that does target though. Okay,
so
and that actually could get your 10 right there.
Go to 10, yeah.
Increase its level. So you're trying to increase.
Because a lot of duelists, they look at
yeah.
Medius the Pure and the Power Patrons, and most of the time you summon Medius the Pure in whatever deck you're playing, you get something. You need a little bit more extension in the Elfnote deck, but that's exactly what we're doing as we're getting a 10 here. Is it Junora or somebody?
Probably going to be Junora.
No,
it's Fable.
I will go
Leviathan. This one's an older one. It's like Leviathan Zabul.
Yeah, and I believe it's a Snatch Steel, but it's also a big old Light Fiend.
Okay, so he tributes.
This is also the 4th summon, so I have to imagine there's the possibility that he just searches off the Power Patron and then is willing to pass back to Urkham. Because he knows that the cards in Urkham's hand are probably hand interactions. Nibiru is amongst one of the highest likelihood ones because nothing's been activated thus this turn.
He does have that Solemn Warning, though.
Oh, that is so true.
That's interesting.
That is an interaction.
Could feel safe.
I'm so used to maybe Solemn Strike.
Yeah.
Stopping Nibiru, Solemn Warning is not interaction. It's one that's possible.
Okay. So as we continue here, we're on the 4th summon. This is where you got to get brave.
I will say, though, I still think it might be okay to not summon into Nibiru and just leave the Nibiru stranded, knowing that you have warning for the claw that Urkham has, because I think you have him in a kind of the hard lock here, where you have hand interactions that don't do anything, and all you have to do is deal with Urkham's top deck. So I agree that he has that option. And I guess he'll play into the 5th summon.
Oh, he's going. So I guess we'll see the Nibiru the Primal Being because only one of us knows. And Jason, you got to do it, fam. Pay 2,000 life points or else. Taking a look at the effect real fast. I guess he wants to make sure it doesn't tribute for cost. Can you imagine if it tributed for cost?
That would be wild.
To be like, sorry, the token is optional, but the fact that you're losing your field is not.
Yes.
So he takes a look at his graveyard. And minus 2,000 or not? That is the question. 2K or not 2K?
I will try to chain. Solemn Warning.
And it's 2K. So paying 2,000 life points here.
Paying 2,000, of course.
Yep.
Hold on to your duel discs. This duel may get blown wide open. I think he's going to try to push for game here because you really need to at this point. So that's going to get the game destroyed, but this is his chance.
That was the point I was trying to make earlier. If you're using the warning, you have to win this turn.
Yes.
Otherwise, I think staying at 4 summons and warning the top deck monster would be the best approach here.
1,800 with Medius.
But he isn't trying to be conservative. He's trying to go for game, but is he just going to attack? Oh, I think he is just going to attack. Maybe it's conservative at a weird time. Maybe he had nothing further, but he did want to do with the additional points of damage. He does get the continuous spell off of Tistia.
750.
So that's 42 minus 400 is 38, and then 3050.
That's interesting. Or Tinia, excuse me, Tinia.
That's what I'm at, yep.
750, that's right. Main phase 2?
Yep. Main phase 2. Going to use her effect. Going to go ahead and get a continuous spell here. Some duels pick the whole deck up. Some duels pick up half and then find it on the bottom half. And so Welcome Home activated again. Maybe he discards a card. Guess he wanted to just be a little shy here. But now we're going to Link Summon. Oh, it's 2 monsters, including a Light Fiend. Frees up the main monster zone as well.
Yep.
So recycle both pieces of Light Fiends. Leaving the Fabled Lurry, just not worried about it right now.
Looks like we might see Lacrima.
Yeah.
Thinking if I want to
Remember when that card was the shortest lived
Oh, yes.
best monster in the world? Time rules change. 1200, not a big deal anymore.
I will not.
It was
be
banned, and
activating
Fiendsmith was still
anything on
probably
Resolution
the
or
best
Open Games.
strategy
Oh,
or
yeah.
engine at the time.
Link off again
My
for
chain links
SP
are
Little
one
Knight
Lacrima
this time.
to burn for a game. Little Knight.
GG's, man.
Good game, bro.
Oh, okay. So that
For
this
the
is
1200.
Yeah, for the 1200.
Okay. So